Good morning, and welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship of Midlands online worship service. I'm Shannon Sonoris, worship associate for this morning's service. If you haven't already, please type into the chat box who you are and who you've brought with you today. Unitarian Universalism is a welcoming and inclusive religion. It encourages us to keep open hearts and minds, because our own experience, conscience, and reason are the final authorities in religion. It affirms the inherent worth and dignity of every person, and that we're all connected to each other and the earth. If you're visiting today, a special welcome to you. We appreciate you spending some of your Sunday morning with us. If you have any questions, please let us know in the chat box, by phone, or through our Facebook page. If you've been attending for some time and have come to feel that this is your spiritual home and you're considering becoming a member of the fellowship, please contact our minister, Eric Severson, or a member of the welcome team, or let us know of your interest in the chat box. If you have a chalice or candle at home and would like to join in our chalice lighting remotely, now's a good time to get that ready. If you have water to share for our ceremony, now's also a good time to get that ready. We'll be including joys and sorrows this morning as we normally do in our service. You'll want to find the participant icon to raise your hand for that. And now we have an online donation option, which we'll introduce after the service. We will move on now to announcements. You'll see them on your screen. Next week's service will be Eternity in Our Hands, led by our minister, Eric Severson. Join us as we celebrate renewing relationships, even in these unusual times, and how we might view community as a source of renewal. Religious education will begin in October this year to allow time for families to adjust to the new school arrangements. The RE team will be hosting a physically distanced lunch and supply pickup for families on the afternoon of Sunday, September 27th, just to launch the program. More information is to come. Save the date for our annual meeting, held virtually on Sunday, October 25th at 12:15 p.m. We are now accepting nominations for UUFOM's 2020 Unsung Hero. Please nominate a UUFOM member or members whom you feel has made and continues to make a significant contribution to UUFOM. The contributions may not be generally well known by members and friends of the congregation. You may nominate more than one person, but please use a separate form for each nominee. Entries must be received by Sunday, October 11th. Our 2020 Unsung Hero will be announced at the annual meeting. Online nomination information can be found in our newsletter or on our Facebook page. Please email Wendy at office@uufom.org if you need other alternatives. Sunday service document editor training will be provided in a Zoom meeting on Saturday, September 19th at 11 a.m. This training will cover what the document editor needs to do to prepare the documents for Eric, and when others will have their materials shared with the document editor. We'll do our best to answer any questions you might have. We still need a couple more volunteers for this role, so if you want to find out what it's all about and maybe volunteer, please join us. Check out the newsletter or our Facebook group for the Zoom link. Do you like to sing? UUFOM Virtual Choir is beginning. Sandy Hay has volunteered to lead our choir virtually, while choir director Andrew Schultz is on extended leave this year. This is an opportunity for everyone who's interested to join the choir. Our choir will meet every Wednesday night virtually at 7 p.m. If you're interested, and this includes the current members too, or if you have any questions, please contact Sandy Hay at Sextona, SEXTONA, at uufom.org. Sandy will deliver all the music needed. The board wants you to know that it's extended its suspension of large group in-person activities through the end of December. Our greatest asset is our people, and everyone's safety continues to be paramount. We want to help ensure that our activities and gathering place are as safe as possible for the most vulnerable among us. Board members, pastoral care team members, staff members, and our minister continue to be available to you if you have any questions or concerns. Meeting by Zoom will continue to be available into this program year. If your group needs access to Zoom, especially if you'd like to meet for more than 40 minutes without having to restart the meeting, please contact Wendy Altemeyer at office@uufom.org. Watch the newsletter for future updates. Check your email for the weekly Candle Flame, which will now be circulated on Fridays. If you wish to submit an article, please email it to Wendy Altemeyer by Wednesday at 9 p.m. to have it included in the upcoming issue. If you have a candle or chalice at home and would like to light it now, please do so. Please join in reading our chalice lighting words today, titled A Chalice Lighting for Ingathering by Jeanette Parsons. The flame of our chalice this morning is a symbol of the warmth and brightness of our connections. The flame lights our way back together again from our separate summer lives, and it lights our way forward into this new church year of promise and renewal.
Thank you, Shannon. Our opening words today are titled Morning Poem by Mary Oliver. Every morning the world is created. Under the orange sticks of the sun, the heaped ashes of the night turn into leaves again and fasten themselves to the high branches. And the ponds appear like black cloth on which are painted islands of summer lilies. If it is your nature to be happy, you will swim away along the soft trails for hours, your imagination alighting everywhere. And if your spirit carries with it the thorn that is heavier than lead, if it's all you can do to keep on trudging, there is still somewhere deep within you a beast shouting that the earth is exactly what it wanted. Each pond with its blazing lilies is a prayer heard and answered lavishly every morning, whether or not you have ever dared to be happy, whether or not you have ever dared to pray.
Now with your mics muted, please join Melanie in singing our opening hymn, number 210, Wade in the Water.
Wade in the water, wade in the water, children, wade in the water. God's gonna the sled. God's gonna trouble the water. Wade in the water. Wade in the water. Children, wade in the water. God's gonna trouble the water.
The light must spill to shine. The thing you must be is yourself, unadulterated, shedding the willingness to journey alone as though you're made of something hard and unforgivable. You are human. You belong right here, right now. And together we will chase away the sickness, the secrets, and leave only the open possibility that the future is a space for growth. Let's share now in a musical interlude called On the Water, an etude by Frederick L. Crane, played by Melanie.
Thank you, Melanie. Well, welcome back, everyone, and welcome to our newcomers to this community of memory and hope. 12 months ago, we gathered in person, face to face. A year ago, we attended the shock and grief of a baby's death. We welcomed families back from a long, hot summer. We celebrated my joining you in serving the mission of this congregation. We blessed our learners with backpack tags. We sang and danced and rejoiced in being together again. Last year at this time, we had no idea of the floodwaters and pandemic that would change our lives just a few months later. What a year it has been. The power of water can be awesome and terrifying and must be respected. We must acknowledge the loss, expense, and trauma of the historic flooding last May, just 4 months ago. We are fortunate that no one was injured or killed in the flood, but we hold in our hearts the many people who lost homes, gardens, irreplaceable keepsakes, livelihoods, and the physical environments that provided happy memories of years past. Many scriptures hold accounts of floods that scoured the world clean for a new start of humanity and civilization. Just like those floods, we too can remake the world, or at least appreciate its daily renewal. Every morning, wrote Mary Oliver, the world is created. Whether it is your nature to be happy or your spirit carries a thorn heavier than lead, the beauty of the world is still here. Each pond with its blazing lilies, a prayer heard and answered lavishly every morning. I invite you now to make yourselves comfortable and join in a meditation video by Jamila Batchelder and Reverend Molly Hausch-Gordon. Background music is Awakening Dew by Keys of Moon.
Strength of water takes on many forms, just as each of us has a unique and necessary strength that we bring to our community and the work of love. Take a moment now to drop down into the deep wellspring of your own spirit and bathe yourself in the strength that is the groundwater of your person. Are you a roaring fall wearing rock away with sheer force of will? Are you a small sliver of water in a crevice, breaking it open slowly and steadily? Are you buoyant, like a great salt lake, practiced at holding yourself or others aloft? Are you tenacious like the mountain stream, finding your way down and around and through every obstacle you face? Are you still and calm like the pond at daybreak, radiant peace found by your shores? Are you in touch with hidden depths, pulling from a vast well deep within? Do you soothe like the steam rising from a cup of tea? Do you dissolve away stubborn muck like dishwater? Do you soften and smooth the edges like a creeping fog? Do you clear away distraction like a cleansing rain? with the ebb and flow, with the rhythm of the ocean waves. Settle your mind upon the strength, the power that is yours. Draw that strength into your heart, draw it up into your soul, and there find peace. As we endure difficult times together, we need each of our power, each of our resilience, each of our love to make us whole.
Well, that was a lovely experience even without the video. We'll make sure to get a link to that up on our website or on in our newsletter and on our Facebook page. In the Unitarian Universalist tradition, the water communion ceremony was created in 1980 by Carolyn McDade and Lucille Schack-Longview. They were asked to create a worship service for the Women and Religion Continental Convocation of Unitarian Universalists. As they shaped that service, they wanted to create a new ritual that spoke to our connectedness to one another, to the totality of life, and to our place on this planet. They incorporated water, elemental and primary, which was a new inclusive symbol of women's spirituality and empowerment. Today we adapt and extend this ceremony online. Members and friends were asked to send in photos of themselves pouring water into a communal vessel or pouring it symbolically at home. People also were asked to contribute a few words, putting their contributions into context to help give their actions meaning. Here are some of those messages. Smiles from Sarah and Judith. The Gettlers said, every day we find some place to eat lunch. It usually is somewhere near the water so we can sit and enjoy. Susan Myers says, this is water from my rain barrel. We brought it from Ohio. Finally got it set up. A small part. Beth Sperry said, I pour rainwater from my bird bath with a prayer for my beloved California and the hope that blessed rain comes their way. Connie says, I symbolically pour water from Lake Bozomtwe in Ghana, West Africa. Sarah and Chris wrote, this is rain we collected in our rain gauge at home. We're thankful for all the rain this summer that helped our garden grow. John and Kathy wrote, we're camping in Charlevoix and biked along Lake Michigan. We've been blessed to live on the water for 38 years. It's magical and renewing. Dot wrote, this water from my backyard bird bath. I get pleasure watching all the birds and such, and who knows what who comes in the night. Estella wrote, this is water from a fountain outside my study window, which gives me a sense of serenity. The Mulford family. Water is a reminder of the force of the water that took away homes in the flood, a reminder of the shelter they received, the water they received at the shelter, and more. And Sandra wrote, Lake Huron on tap, my everything water from my faucets. I'm grateful for this wonderful water. The Barts, our water is from our pond where we and the ducks swim and cool off in the summer. It's refilled by snowmelt each year and thrives with life. It symbolizes the renewal of life. Ellen wrote, water represents where I find peace, a river, a lake. It's a chance encounters with strangers and deep friendships with soulmates and never stepping in the same river twice. I wrote, this water represents all the journeys and transformations we've undergone in the last year. Heather and Rowan, we brought this water from our new home in Lake Orion, from our well. We couldn't think of a better way to bless our well than by contributing its waters to this ceremony. To those who contributed. I would like to invite now anyone who has water at home to share, to pour some symbolically into our vessel, right here. I invite you to type in the chat the significance this water has for you or your family, and I will try to read them out loud. Jesse and Sasha had water from Okoyak Falls. Who else has water to share figuratively? Jan and Scott from Michigan, water from our well that nourishes us. Who else would like to share? The Baileys offer the water from the Porcupine Mountains and Lake Superior. Marcia writes, water from Point Bessie, which I haven't visited since January. Linda Rector contributed water from Wixom Lake, her home since 1952. Jill and Jim have a barrel that collects water from the barn roof. They use it regularly to water a new tree there. It makes oxygen for all of us. John Cleveland Post says water from Lake Superior, where we collected euperlite rocks. Elspeth says water from the rain my kids danced in at Meyer Gardens in Grand Rapids. Ben and Regina, water from our sister and brother-in-law's pond, where our family gathers often for celebrations and just to be together. Tim and Janelle, water from my teapot, which wakes me every day. Anyone else? Kathy French shares, water from my tap that is placed in my vase of flowers symbolizing transitions, and this year friendships and connections that continue to grow and be nourished. Craig and Pam write, water from the middle of Lake Huron, the middle of Lake Huron. Dan Seeley writes, water from the shores of the beach of Caseville. From Shannon, the water represents water from Petoskey, where they collected Petoskey stones, and the water in their blow-up pool that kept Megan and Shannon cool this summer. If there are more, go ahead and share them in the chat. Thank you to one and all who contributed. So let's pour the rest of this water that we collected into our communal vessel from so very far away and so very near. This collected water is blessed by our shared faith in the sacred web of life of which we are a part. It is consecrated by our memories and our shared joys and sorrows, the stuff of our lives. It is blessed by the humility and respect we achieve when we learn and grow from our mistakes, by the strength of our convictions and of our highest aspirations, by our persistent, relentless pursuit of love, compassion, and justice. We will purify this water and will use it in coming months and years for child dedications and other rituals, significant rites of passage among us in building this community of faith that we love. And Heather will now share one such rite of passage.
Later this month, our students and their families will be receiving kits with crafts and religious education lessons. They will be for the classes and gatherings we'll have in October and November. Inside, they'll also be receiving this sun catcher to bring a little of the light of our spiritual home into each of their homes. Children and their families will connect the beads to the sun catcher, symbolically connecting themselves with each other and with our community. This year, our path of learning is unlike what we have done ever before. This has been said so many times, but as a student, as a teacher, as a parent of students, this is not merely different. It is unknown territory in a world where the rules are changing daily. It is different in different ways for each of us. Some of us are entirely online in virtual classrooms. Some of us have in-person classes that look unlike any classroom we have experienced in the past. And some of us are finding ourselves in a classroom who never planned on being there. We're learning how to make a virtual community at church and when we shop. We have masks, shields, spaces, and screens between us. Our eyes gaze over the edges of masks, expressing alone our smiles, love, and tears. We are tense with the strain of constant change, and we long for touch. It is hard to imagine education happening in this world, and we don't want to hear about it anymore. We don't want to know it, feel it anymore. I invite you to embrace it for a moment, though. Feel all of it, acknowledge it, and then let it go for a moment. Because today is Ingathering, and we are here together. Along with congregations across the country, we are here together. As we share each other's smiling faces and eyes, we bless the learning paths that we are all traveling. Let the blessed waters of our community flow over you. Let go of the strain in your eyes and the tension in your neck and shoulders, and close your eyes for a moment. Feel peace flowing over you. Promise this to yourselves and to each other. Be gentle with yourselves. Be kind to each other. Be patient with yourself and others struggling with technology and lessons. Let the blessed waters of our community flow over you and honor the reasons for the changes we make to help and protect us through all of this time. Bring forward the reasons for all of these adjustments as we are making up to the front, and feel the blessing of compassion and caring protection that each one of these changes seeks to ensure. Open your eyes and look at the technology before you. Let the blessed waters of our community flow over whatever device that allows you to be in community with us, magically not affecting it negatively at all. Place it in your lap or place your hand on it and feel its warmth. Look past its grumbling, overheated quirks to the magic that it provides, connecting us with each other. Let the blessed waters of our community flow through it to us. Think of all the ways this electronic device, computer or phone, tablet or Chromebook, helps us along our learning paths to learn about each other and the world. Think of all the people we have remained connected to, the joys and sorrows that we have shared, the music and the silence, all the ways it has helped us to remember that we are not alone. Let the blessed waters of our community flow over all of the students and teachers and families and friends in the classroom and in the living room and in the office and in the bedroom, in our formal wear and in our pajamas. Feel the love and the strength of this beloved community. Wherever you are, you got this, and we got your back. You're not alone. Open your eyes and switch to your view to gallery if it's not there already. Pan over the images of your friends, family, and loved ones. Notice the new congregant or the strangers, all who have joined here together to be together in this space. And let the blessed waters of our community flow over all of us, reminding us we are not alone.
Thank you, Heather. We are not alone. The thing you must be is yourself, wrote Teresa Soto, unadulterated. Do not think that you journey alone. as though you're made of something hard and unforgivable. You are human. You belong right here, right now. Let your light spill out that it might shine. Together, she wrote, we may chase away the sickness, the secrets, and leave only the open possibility that the future is a space for growth. 2020 has been a difficult year. Whatever the coming year may bring, we will meet it and deal with it together. We know that God's going to trouble the water again. But troubled water, says the book of John, is not a bad thing. It is instead a sign of potential healing and deliverance. Though we may be assailed by news that is worrying, angering, shocking, or depressing, let us wade into the water hand in hand, so that together we may be healed and delivered. Let us be fully present to the world around us as we are able, renewed each day as the earth itself is made new. In a few moments, we'll share our closing words. It's a poem by Gregory Orr, and it's about becoming aware of the world that we inhabit every day, to wipe away the dust of everydayness that has us not seeing things that are around us, not seeing or feeling the world we live in. The way sometimes after a heavy rain, when the sun comes out, everything seems washed and fresh and radiant. May the waters we gather and bless here today sustain us, help satisfy our thirst for meaning in times to come. May they strengthen our resolve to build a land of justice and peace. May they help us wash away the dust of custom, keep us connected one to another, to the earth, and to our greatest sources of meaning and purpose. May these waters provide for a renewal of life to come. Amen. Blessed be.
Thank you, Eric. Before we begin today's offering, our stewardship chair, Sarah Clavet, would like to say a few words. Sarah?
Okay. Good morning. I am Sarah Clavet, your Stewardship Committee Chair. This is the special time of the year when we assess our resources for the coming year, 2021. May it be better in every way than 2020. Last Sunday, Eric talked about the potential and kinetic energy. With our pledges of membership and financial support, we create the potential energy that enables the UU Fellowship to swing into action in the coming year. All of us have been affected by the events of 2020. For some, there have been very significant losses, and for others, there has been some inconvenience and anxiety. With all of this in mind, our board is proposing a budget that shifts spending to increase our ability to connect remotely, but with no increase in the total pledge goal for the 2021. Pledge packets went out on Thursday. I'm excited to announce that we have already received more than $51,000 in pledges. In the first 48 hours, we have reached more than a quarter of our monetary goal. We are off to a wonderful start. We have many more people to hear from, so I am confident we will make it to our goal despite the challenges we are all facing. I give to the fellowship because when I was grieving, you comforted me. When I was celebrating, you rejoiced with me. You challenged me to grow and explore. My life has been enriched by being a part of this fellowship, and I want those opportunities to be available for all who seek them. I pledge because it allows the board and minister to do responsible planning for the coming year. If you would like to have a conversation about stewardship and pledging, there will be a list of members who look forward to talking with you. Their names will be in the next issue of the Candle Flame. If they get lonely, they may call you. Finally, thank you to the Stewardship Committee members, Alicia Toyson, who designed the beautiful packet, Fred Thomas, our liaison with the Finance Committee, Craig Murchison and Vicki Reidelberger, who have provided valuable insights as we have planned this campaign, and Chris Nakamura, our board liaison. Thank you to all of you for your enthusiastic response that I'm anticipating to this, and thanks Shannon for the time.
Thank you, Sarah. We affirm the work of this fellowship and its mission through our financial contributions. We continue to rely on you paying your pledges and providing what you would otherwise drop in the collection plate. While our in-person activities may be suspended, our staff continue working hard to provide the services we need. They and the bills still need to be paid. Please, give as generously as you can, and may what you give bring you joy. Please take this time to write a check if you wish and mail it to the fellowship at 6220 Jefferson Avenue, Midland, Michigan 48640. To donate online, please stay after the service for instructions. Another option is to set up bank auto pay, which can be arranged by asking our treasurer, Vicki, for the UUFOM checking account number, and then having your bank set up a regular payment from your account. Thank you for your generosity. We'll now share an offertory called Rippling Waters Boat Song by G.D. Wilson, played by Melanie.
Thank you so much, Melanie. And now, with your mics muted, please join Melanie in singing our closing hymn, number 121, We'll Build a Land, verses 1 and 4.
free, where the oil of gladness dissolves all mourning. Oh, we'll build a promised land that can be. Come build a land where sisters and brothers, anointed by God, may then create peace, where justice shall roll down like waters, and peace like an ever-flowing stream. Come build a land where the mantles of praises resound from spirits once faint and once weak, where oaks of righteousness stand her people. Oh, we'll build the land, my people we seek. Come build a land where sisters and brothers, anointed by God, may then create peace, where justice shall roll down like waters, and peace like an ever-flowing stream.
Thank you again, Melanie. Please join in our closing words. Let's Remake the World with Words by Gregory Orr as we extinguish our chalice. Listen, let's remake the world with words, not frivolously, nor to hide from what we fear, but with a purpose. Let's, as Wordsworth said, remove the dust of custom, so things shine again, each object arrayed in its robe of original light. And then we'll see the world as if for the first time, as once we gazed at the beloved who was gazing at us. Thank you to everyone for joining us today. Thank you for everyone who helped make this service possible. If you can stay to chat, great. If you need to go, we'll understand. Whatever you may encounter in the coming week, please know that the love of our community goes with you. Until we're together again, many blessings.